Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com.
Yesterday we understood about Eureka, how to start Eureka server, how to create a cluster of Eureka servers, how to actually register a microservice with Eureka server. And today we'll see how to look up Eureka server. First of all, I'll show you without load balancing, and then we'll see how to achieve client-side load balancing using Ribbon, and we'll see various approaches. We'll see how to configure retries, load balancing algorithms, etc. Then today only we'll see about circuit breaker in detail. We'll see how to use Hystrix and also Ribbon, and also I'll show you how to use Hystrix dashboard for monitoring purpose. So this will be the agenda for today. Let's go on, right? So firstly, load balancing. Let me explain you here. Let's assume that this is Eureka and this is my booking service and this is my routing service. Yesterday what I did is, whenever a new cargo is booked, booking service will store the data inside, create a cargo aggregate and store it inside the database. Once cargo is created, what is our next step? To route the cargo. So whenever request comes for routing cargo, booking service is making a REST API call to routing service, right? And yesterday I hard coded the URL of routing service in my booking app because there was only one instance. Now today we are going to start 2 instances or 3 instances of routing service, and we'll see how booking service can look up Eureka, get the data about all the routing instances, and use load balancing to select one of the routing instance, get the URL, and then hit it. Let us see. So first of all, how to look up firstly, okay? Here I'll show you. This was my yesterday's application in cargo booking app. In outbound services, here I have external cargo routing service, and here I was hard coding the URL of cargo routing. Now I want to modify it to use lookup. Very simple. Already in booking app we have added discovery client, is it? Because this is a microservice. It's a Eureka client. I have added this dependency, right? So it has all client libraries. Now to look up, we don't need to write the low level code. What we have to do is we have to create a variable of type discovery client and auto wire it. The auto configuration is there, which will automatically inject discovery client. Now, if I just one minute. Okay. For discovery client, actually there is a Eureka discovery client. Let me check. I'll say star discovery client. Do you see there is a class called as Eureka discovery client, which is implementing discovery client. So there is auto configuration, which actually creates a bean of type Eureka discovery client, just because I have added Eureka client library as dependency. So that will be auto-add. Then what I have to do is to look up, I have to use this code discovery client dot get instances, and this is a name with which routing service is registered with Eureka. So this internally gets the list of service instances, right? Actually, will it go to Eureka? No. Inside booking service, there will be a cache of registry asset. So this API will fetch the list of service instances from the local cache only. So it will take care. Now, once I get list of the service instances, I'm getting the first service instance by saying get of0 dot get URI. So I'll be getting the URI of first instance only. Now I am not having load balancing. Then I got this URI. I'll comment this one where I'm hard coding. And here I'm using this URI and the rest of the URL. Everything is same. Then I'm using REST template to make a call. Let us see if it works or not. Okay. So I'm going to start my Eureka server. Okay. Here I have 3 Eurekas. Right now, I don't want to start all the 3. I want to start only one Eureka. So then this Eureka will be listening on a port. What port actually? Let me just right click and see open config. SDI configured. For Eureka 1, I didn't configure. Then here, I guess for Eureka 1, let us see what is the port. Eureka 1 profile, it is 4002. So my booking application now should point to Eureka at 4002. Let me just do it. Yes, it is already there. It is pointing to Eureka at 4002. So I'm starting only one Eureka. And let me start only one instance of booking service. And before that, I need to start routing service also. There's no change in routing application, so I'm just starting it as it is. So here I'm going to start 2 instances of routing service. I already have configured this. So I'm going to start 2 instances of routing service first. Then 1 instance of booking service is sufficient for now. I'm not sure if routing service, let me check. The YML is pointing to 4002. No. Yeah, see, I'm getting an exception, I guess. Oh, this Eureka actually is configured for cluster, right? Okay, let me do one thing. I'll stop all. And first of all, for my routing service, I need to tell Eureka is running at 4002. I'll modify it. Okay, then I'll start actually cluster of Eurekas firstly, because I have configured that cluster, right? Otherwise, I'll see exceptions on console. Let it start, no problem. So I'm starting cluster of Eurekas, and then I'll start 2 instances of routing service. Then we'll start one booking. Yeah, let them start. It will take some time because 3 services, right? 6 instances total. It will take some time. Just let us wait. So then I have to go to localhost 4002 is my first Eureka. Okay. It's starting up. Let us wait. You will see exceptions on the console of Eureka because we are starting a cluster as we discussed. Whenever one Eureka starts, it will try to fetch the registers of other 2 Eurekas. They were not up, so that's the reason why you are seeing exceptions. Okay, Eurekas are up. Now, routing service is up. One instance. Yeah, we're waiting for booking service. Let us see. Yes. So booking service also is up. Now let us see the console of Eureka at 4002. Yes, right now there's one booking service and 2 routing services. So let me hit booking service. First of all, I need to get Swagger UI. Localhost 8081 / swagger UI.html. First, I need to create a booking, right? Then only I can do routing. So I'll create a booking by just making a post request. For sample, I will take this JSON. This is the data required for booking. Execute. So booking is created and this is the booking ID. Now routing is not yet done. So here are routing commands. I'll make a post request to this routing so that it will do routing. So I give the booking ID, then making a request. So let us see. Yes, I got 200 success cargo routed, but to which instance? Let us see. You can see in booking, I'm printing what is the URL actually. It is 9092. You can see in my code. In external cargo routing, where was it? Yeah, here it is. Here I am printing external cargo routing that fetch route specification, and here I am printing the URL. Right, what is the URL right now? If I see booking, it is 9092.
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
So this is the routing instance. Now again I'll make a request for routing. Let us see whether it will hit the next one. Again, same request, cargo routed. Again, multiple times I did. Let us see here what all it has hit. It is always hitting the one at 9092. Right now there is no load balancing. I just showed you how to use Discovery Client API to look up and how to get list of instances. I'm always getting the first server URI, so no load balancing. Now, how to achieve load balancing? The next step is to use ribbon. As we discussed, we can use ribbon for achieving load balancing. Let us start using ribbon. So I'll close all. Let this routing service be on. I'll stop this booking service. Now, I don't want cluster of Eurekas also right now. I'll start working on different set of projects. Okay. Let me stop all anyway. So from now onwards, I'll be using the Eureka, one single Eureka, which is at commons. Okay. So I'll just open this. I will close all the unrelated projects, so it will be clear. And here is routing application. There is no change in routing. I'll just start it. Okay. Then comes ribbon. Here, booking. So which is a client here? Booking service is a client to routing, right? So here I need to add ribbon. So this code is same like earlier. Now I'm going to show you steps how to convert it to use ribbon. If you see the code right now in outbound services of this project, yeah, here I have AutoWire discovery client, and using discovery client.get instances, I'm getting list of service instances. Same thing, I'm printing the URI. So same thing. Now, how to use ribbon? Let us see. Step one is in form.xml, we need to add a ribbon as dependency. This is the first one, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix ribbon. So I just uncomment this. I have added ribbon as dependency, Spring Cloud Starter Netflix ribbon. Then second step is in this external cargo routing service. Earlier I was using discovery client. It's a low level API. So now I will comment out this part. I have to create a variable of type load balanced client from ribbon. Okay. Load balanced client. I auto wired. So I'll get ribbon load balancer client. If you just say okay. Here, if I try with star ribbon star load balancer client. See, there is ribbon load balancer client, which is an implementation of load balancer client. So there is auto configuration. When I added ribbon as dependency, there will be boot auto configuration for ribbon, which will create a bean of type ribbon load balancer client, and it will be inject. Now I'll comment these lines where I was using discovery client. Then here I am using load balancer client dot choose. This choose method internally uses some algorithm to look up Eureka, and internally, of course, load balancer client internally uses discovery client API only. So the choose method internally will use discovery client to get the instances and apply some algorithm to select one instance among the list. By using some algorithm, it will select one load balancing algorithm and give me one service instance. Earlier I was getting a list. Now I'm getting only one. Then I'm using service instance.get URI to get the URI, right, and printing it. Then using this URI, I am making a hit. Let us see. This is the only change I did. What I did, instead of discovery client, I auto-wired load balancer client and using this, right? Let us see what will happen. Now I will start my Eureka. There is no change in routing, so I just start this routing, and then booking in booking application I'll start. I hope Eureka's all URLs are updated here in these projects. So let us wait until they start. So Eureka started. Yeah, two instances of routing service also started, one at 8082 and another at 9092 ports. Let me check Eureka. Now it started at port 5001 according to my configuration. There is single Eureka and there are two instances of routing service registered. I think booking is yet to start. Yeah, booking also started. Let me refresh once. Yeah, booking application also started. Now booking application started at which port? 8081. So here I have the Swagger UI already opened. So first of all, let me create a booking by making a post request to /cargo booking. A new booking will be created. Now we'll get the booking ID. Using this, I want to do routing. So here I'll go. And if I give the booking ID, it will do the routing. Execute. I'll execute multiple times. So now let us see the console. Oh, I'm getting some exceptions. No instances for local host. Very good. No instances available for local host. I am in booking application. And from where am I getting this no instances for local host? You can see here external cargo routing service. Here I did a small mistake. So actually I am using REST template, is it? I'm using REST template to make a call. Here, what is the URI? URI will be whatever localhost colon the port. There is one small mistake I did. Good to see the mistake. So actually here we are injecting REST template, right? Where did we define a bean of type REST template? Actually, it will be automatically defined. But see what I have done here in my configuration. I have configured a bean with of type REST template, but I have annotated it with load balanced. I just uncomment this. I'll tell you what is the importance of it, but let me show you by uncommenting it first. So now what I need to do, I need to restart my booking application because I changed my code. Let it restart. Yep, hopefully it is done almost. That's right. Yes, it is done. Now let me actually do another booking. Yep, I got the booking ID. Then using that, I will do routing. Let us observe. But I'll do multiple times. First time, I got an exception. Oh, very good. The exception is 500 error, and there is something called as just for testing. Oh, actually, I have simulated some errors just for testing purpose. So I'll do a small change. Good, actually, to see error. So here in my routing application, in the controller, let me show you why I'm getting that. In the controller, what I am doing whenever a request comes here to find an optimal route, I'm always throwing an exception. Okay, I forgot to show you this one. I'll comment it first. I have this for another reason, to show you something. Okay, so I commented this. Now I need to restart my routing instances. Okay, I should have actually added Spring DevTools. So if I have added Spring DevTools to this projects, once I change my code, automatically they could have restarted. Okay, right now anyway, I didn't add them to show you clearly, because sometimes if I modify it and if it automatically restarts, I will not be able to show all. So I didn't add DevTools, Spring Boot DevTools. So if I just add Spring Boot DevTools to pom.xml, whenever I change my code, automatically the instance will be restarted. Okay, let's wait. Okay, almost done. Yeah, it is done. So now let me look up Eureka once. Yes, both are there. Now I'll do one booking quickly again.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
I'll take this. Sorry, first of all, I'll do a booking. Oh, wait. Some problem in my database. Okay. So small thing, I will restart my booking also. Okay, it started. Okay. So now again, quickly, let us not waste time. So I'll make one booking. I got the booking ID. Copy. And then I'll try to make routing using this booking ID. Okay. Let's see. What is the status code? Yep, 200. The response board is cargo routed. So now let us check the console. In the console of booking application, I was printing the this is in the console of booking application, I was printing the URI. So now you can see it is showing localhost 8082. Okay, let me clear this console or let it be. What I'll do is I'll go to Swagger UI and click on this route multiple times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Almost more than multiple times I've clicked on it. So here let us again go to the console of booking. Yes, now you can see on the console 8082 it is printed once, 9092, 8082, 9092, 8082, 9092. So we are seeing load balancing, right? It is hitting multiple routing instances. You can see the routing services also. Here, this is printed whenever this instance is called. How many times here you can see? 3 plus 4, 7 times you can see here. And what about routing instance 1? Here also you can see that many number of times, right? So load balancing is happening properly. But too much. What I am doing is I am using load balancer client dot choose, getting one instance and getting the URI, and then making a call using REST template. Why should I write the code for all this? Why can't REST template itself use load balancer client dot choose, get the URI and make a hit, right? So yes, if you know, REST template can be configured with interceptors. So here in booking application, REST template is making an outbound call, is it? So for REST template, if I configure interceptors, what will happen is whenever REST template is making an outbound call, before it makes an outbound call, interceptor will be executed. That interceptor can execute this logic without me writing it. So if you want a REST template which is customized with an interceptor, what all you need to do is simply In this one, whenever I'm defining REST template, I just need to annotate the REST template with load balanced. Okay, that's the reason why I commented earlier. This is the next approach. So if I annotate my REST template with load balanced, what will happen is the REST template bean will be customized by adding interceptors, right? Then what else I need to do? I'll close all for now. In this external routing service, cargo routing service, here earlier I was using load balancer client. I don't need to use this low level APIs like load balancer client and all. I'll comment out. This also I'll comment out. Okay. Now, here whenever I'm writing the URI, right? Normally it will be like something like http://ip:/port or host:/port, etc. Now I need to follow a convention when giving the URI. I just need to say http:// what service I need to look up in Eureka? Routing dash service. So this is a convention which I should follow. Sorry, routing dash service. This is a convention. Now we are using this URI, right? Whenever I'm making a call using REST template, the interceptor will execute before it makes a call. The interceptor will take whatever is after http:// and it internally uses load balancer client dot choose, where it will get a load balanced instance, then replace this with the URI. So this is done behind the scenes by REST template interceptor. What all we have to do is, whenever we are configuring REST template bin, we just have to annotate it with load balance, and whenever we are giving URI, we have to configure http:// the name of the service to be looked up in Eureka. So that's it. I have changed my code in booking application. So let me restart. Almost started. Yep. So now again, like earlier, I'll create one booking and then I'll try to route. Okay, I got the booking ID. Now I'll go to routing service and I'll go to this one and I'll try to route. So you can see 200 cargo routed. Now let us see the console of booking. Actually, on console of booking application, you can see a log from a class called as dynamic. Sorry, here. Where is it? Booking. Yeah. Here I want you to observe there's a log from a class called as dynamic server list load balancer. Oh, the console is searching. Yeah, and here you can see there is one server at 9092 and one server at 808. Okay, so now I gave a request. To show you clearly, what I'll do is I'll clear the consoles of routing instances. both of them. Now I'll do a routing 2 times. First time, second time. Let us see. You can see in routing instance 2, there is a log from the controller 1 time. And from routing instance 1, here you can see routing instance 1. Here also I can see 1 time. So load is balanced. So let me quickly create multiple requests. I just made multiple requests. Now you can see how many times, 3 and 4, 7 times you can see on routing instance 1. Now in the console of routing instance 2 also you can see the same 7 times. So load got balanced. So what all I need to do in my code? In my configuration, I need to annotate the REST template bean with load balanced annotation, and in the URI I need to follow the convention, right? That's it. Now what will happen if I kill one instance of routing service? What will happen? Once I kill, there will be a shutdown hook, as we discussed yesterday, which will deregister this instance with Eureka. Okay, so now let's assume that I kill this instance. It will go and deregister with Eureka. But booking service application will be having a cache. In the cache, it says two instances are there. So by default, when will the cache be updated? After every 30 seconds, right? So until next 30 seconds, my local cache will be saying that there are 2 instances of routing service. Then what if my algorithm selects the instance which is down and makes a hit? It will fail, right? So as I told, there are chances of failures in distributed application. We need to retry to the next available instance. So let us check if retry will be done automatically or not by REST template. Okay, so I'll kill one instance of REST routing application. Let's wait quickly until it stops, and then quickly I'll make a request. Okay, it stopped. Now immediately I'll go and give a request to cargo routed. Now it is taking some time. Just observe. First time it was hit immediately. Second time it is taking some time. Then I still saw cargo routed. That means actually what? Next time whenever I routed, it tried to hit the instance which is down. It waited until HTTP timeout. It was not able to make a connection. Then it did a retry also. See, for me, I don't bother. I got the response, but a little bit late. From second time onwards, if you see, I'll get continuously, immediately. Only for the first time, it will take some time for it to identify that it is down, right? So we don't need to worry. Automatically, it will take care of retries. Why? Actually, if you don't want retries, what you can do is, if you don't want retries, there will be a configuration. See here, spring.cloud.loadbalancer.retry.enabled. I have configured this to true. I have enabled retries. Right. What is the default value? Even if you don't write also, the default value will be true. So that's why retries are done. Actually, if you don't want retries, then you can disable it by making it as false. But one important thing to understand, if you want retries to work, just adding ribbon will not be sufficient. Internally, ribbon uses a library called as Spring Retry library. Spring Retry. So you need to make sure that Spring Retry is there in the POM. So if I just open the pom.xml, see here I have added Eureka client and ribbon. But did I add
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Did I add retry? Spring retry dependency? No. But if you see the dependency hierarchy, and here I'll search for retry. Hey, retry, Spring retry module is there by default. It is coming from Stream Rabbit, Spring Cloud Stream Rabbit. Oh, suppose if I don't have Stream Rabbit, suppose if I don't have this Spring Cloud Starter Stream Rabbit, this retry will not be there. This retry is not coming because I added ribbon. Okay, clearly see it. Retry module will not be added in dependencies just because you added ribbon. It is coming as part of Rabbit. Suppose if I was not using Rabbit, then retry module will not be there as dependency. So retries will not work. You need to add explicitly Spring retry. But in my case right now, since I am using Rabbit also, it is coming up with it. That's the reason why retries work. So many people will be actually confused when you start working on it. You will not get retries because this will not be there. If this Spring retry is there, then it will work, right? So make sure that Spring retry will be there if you want retries to work. That is one thing. And one more thing is how to configure the timeouts, the number of retries, etc. So here I configured routing service. Here in the configuration, I configured ribbon.read timeout, connection timeout, all this. So actually booking service might be a client to routing service or service 1, service 2, etc. So this is a configuration specific to routing service. When our booking service is making call to routing service, what should be the read timeout, connection timeout, retries, etc. Right? So let me tell you what is the meaning of all this: read timeout, connection timeout, max auto retries, and all. So I'll just draw a simple diagram here. This is my Eureka, and these are two routing service instances, R1, R2, I'll say, and this is booking service. Okay. So I configured read timeout, or let me copy paste from here instead of writing. Copy. Yep. So here I configured all this, right? Let me tell you what is the meaning. Connection timeout, first of all. Whenever booking service tries to make a call to this routing service, suppose if it is down, what is the maximum timeout until which it will try to make connections, HTTP connections? This is the connection timeout. Okay. Then I'll tell about read timeout, but before that, max auto retries and max auto retries to next server. So let's assume that you have 4 instances for demonstration. Now max auto retries for each instance will be 2. So 2 times retry can be done on one instance, and max auto retries to next server is 4 I configured. Right. So let us see what will happen. Let's say booking service is making a call to routing service 1, and this is down. So it will wait until connection timeout, it fails. Then what? Booking service has to retry to next available instance. But what are the maximum number of auto retries for next servers? 4. Okay, still 4 are there. So it will make a call. This is down, right? Let's now the max order retrace remaining will be 3. On this server, how many retrace are remaining? 1. On one server, 2, right? I configured. Then again to try to retry to next one. So let's say this is also down as of now. So the number of retries available for next server will be 2. And on this server, it will become 1. Then again it will make a call. Let's say this also is down. So on this server, 1 more retry is remaining. And this becomes 1. Now it is possible that this first instance may be up. Maybe because of temporary network problem, the first call was a failure. Now it might be up. So booking service will retry again to the first instance, right? Okay, let's say it is down. So number of retries remaining is 1. But what about here? It became 0. The number of retries to next available servers became 0. So it cannot it cannot make a call to another service, right? Even though on this server, one more time it can be retried, max retries to next server are over, right? So it cannot make a call. So this will be a failure. So all the retries are exhausted, but still it was not able to make a connection. So don't worry, in that case, what we have to execute a fallback on booking service. A booking service should not fail because routing service is down, right? So in that case, a fallback has to be executed. I'll show you how to configure that fallback later. This is how retries can be configured. Okay, any doubts till now?
Shiva,
Yeah.
hi, this is Sujit here. So I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
The first question is, see, you said that when the booking server is making a connection to routing service 2 and it is down, and before going to the next server, it has 2 retries for that particular routing service, right? Won't it complete both at once and
No.
doesn't it go next?
No, not at once. It doesn't make sense, right? Anyway, first attempt failed. Better
Okay.
to try next available only. So again, in round robin manner, it will come next time.
Okay, so is it always a round robin? That's my next question.
Okay, algorithms are different. I'll show you how to configure different algorithms.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
that's all, Shiva. Thank you.
So now how to configure various algorithms. So I'll just show you here. Let me go in this documentation I have given. So this will be the URL for the documentation of Ribbon. I just go there. Yes. So here is a Ribbon documentation from the website. Now I'll just point you to this one. There is an interface called as iLoad Balancer. Okay. And there are implementations. And there's one more important interface called as iRule. Let us see these two important interfaces, which will actually help us to understand about how load balancing happens. Okay. iLoad Balancer. iLoad Balancer. This is one interface. And there's one more interface called as iRule. Okay. On iLoad Balancer, if I press Ctrl D, you can see iLoad Balancer is an interface and there are multiple implementations. Dynamic server list load balancer, and again there is one more thing called as zone aware load balancer. So what is difference between zone aware load balancer and dynamic server list load balancer? Okay. Zone aware load balancer is actually a subtype of dynamic only. It will act both as zone aware as well as dynamic. So what is the difference? Let us try to understand firstly. So let's assume that I have multiple zones and I've deployed my instance across zones. This is zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Now let's say I have 3 Eurekas, Eureka 1, Eureka 2, Eureka 3. Now let's assume that I have 5 instances of service 1. Service 1 instance here, 2 instances of service 1. Okay, 5 instances. Now S2 I have 2 instances. Let's assume that here is 1 and here is 1. Now, whenever S2 wants to look up Eureka, it will look up this Eureka only, right? In the same zone? Yes. So once S2 asks for S1 instances, how many will it get? Tell me. Will it get only these 2 or it will get all the 5 S1s information?
If it's a cluster, then it will get all 5, right?
Yes, this is a cluster. So if it is a cluster, all the Eurekas will be in sync, right? They will update their registry. So it will get 5. Now, among this 5, the load balancing algorithm will select any one of them in any one of the zones, right? But will it not be good if it can hit S1 in same zone only? Yes. So if you configure by default dynamic server list load balancer, okay, it can, this S2, the algorithm will select, S2 will select all the 5. It will select all the 5, and among all the 5, it will select one. Okay, dynamically it will select all. But if you want zone aware, if you want to hit the instances only in the same zone, then you need to configure zone aware load balancer. Okay, now I will show you here on the console of my booking app. Let me go up. Yes, here you can see there's a log from dynamic server list load balancer. That means by default it was using dynamic server list load balancer, and here you can see the server statistics, right? So by default the one which is used is dynamic server list load balancer. If you want to configure, say, zone aware load balancer, what you have to do is, I'll just show you. I'll come down. You need to configure ribbon client by setting these properties. What you can do, you can use client name dot ribbon dot nf load balancer client name, class name, and you can give the value of the class name which is implementing iLoad balancer. So in this case, what is the client name? So actually we are talking about booking service and routing service, right? So here booking service is a client to routing service, right? In this case, I will say routing dash service, the name with which routing service is registered in Eureka. This should be used as the client name. Okay, client for that. So that's how you need to customize it. But now I need to tell you, iLoad balancer will actually help me to select the instances either from all the zones or from the current zone. Okay, but this iLoad balancer, as the name says, it's confusing. As the name says, it does not do the load balancing. It will just give me the instances. Okay, it will keep a list of all instances and it will give the instances. But there is one more thing, iRule. This is a interface that defines a rule for load balancer. A rule can be thought of as strategy for load balancing, right? So for this iRule is an implementation, and this actually is dependent on iLoad balancer. Okay. So iRule is a one which will actually take care of load balancing. Now, if I press Ctrl D, you can see there are multiple implementations of iRule. One is retry rule, random rule, round robin rule, weighted response time rule, etc. Right? There is round robin rule and weighted response time rule.
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.